Good morning, Malta and Gozo, and welcome to another episode of Lovin Daily. I'm Julian Bonnici. Joined with me is Paula Kauki.
Bonjour, Julian.
Bonjour. Our headlines for today are as follows. KONRAD MIZZI interrogated by police. MELVIN THEUMA returns to the stand. Time barring sees priest escape. Police action for sexual abuse. PN's former head of media under the fire over YORGEN FENECH links. And the SIGGIEWI fisherman wins at Sundance Film Festival. Paul, on to our first story.
L-ewwel storja l-bira jidher illi l-membru parlamentari KONRAD MIZZI ġie interrogat mill-Financial Crimes Department, jidher l-interrogazzjoni damet xi satej żadu mhux magħruf is-suġġett li dwaru kienet jiġi interrogat din hija t-tieni darba li ġie magħjat minn dan id-dipartiment għall-investigazzjoni u sorsi fuq il-mezzi tax-xandir qegħdin jgħidu li llum mistenni li jiġi interrogat ukoll KONRAD, però dwar xiex għadna ma nafux u qed jistennew jara l-iżviluppi ta' dawn il-ħafna kawżi, interrogazzjonijiet, inkjesti li m'għadniex niddistingu wieħed mill-ieħor.
Yeah, so obviously KONRAD MIZZI has been interrogated, and before usually it's got to do with some investigations into a trading of influence sort of investigation with regards to YORGEN FENECH. On KONRAD MIZZI himself, Lovin Malta also published a photo yesterday showing KONRAD MIZZI with Julian Hofstra, who is the Dutch national linked to the Delegate scandal and alleged recordings belonging to MELVIN THEUMA. So we'll sort of see how the situation will develop in the coming days. On to our next story, also involving MELVIN THEUMA. He finally made his return to the stand, and this comes almost 7 to 8 months after his suicide attempt, his shocking suicide attempt that, you know, really shocked the nation. He was appearing in the compilation of evidence against Giorgio, Alfred De Giorgio, and Vince Muscat, the three men charged with, you know, carrying out the assassination of Daphne Caruana Galizia. Mostly they went through MELVIN THEUMA's secret recordings with YORGEN FENECH. However, there were some new details. First of all, MELVIN THEUMA, you know, said that YORGEN FENECH mostly got his information directly from KONRAD, providing another link, you know, of the former Prime Minister's Chief of Staff. And he also said, you know, how Silvio Valletta, who was the Deputy Police Commissioner at the time, would even go to YORGEN FENECH, you know, for whiskies and every now and then. But that wasn't the only shocking story, right, Paula?
Forsi jiena l-bieraħ rajta darbtejt li ta' erba' sibtni mhux qed nara l-istorja tajba. Il-mistoqsija li bija fetaħ is-serje ta' mistoqsijiet l-avukat tal-akkużanti kienet jekk MELVIN THEUMA kellux relazzjoni sesswali ma' Edwin il-Ġojja. Issa tini tort li kelli nerġa' naqra darbtej u bdejt nistaqsi jekk il-ġurnalisti fl-awla fehmux sew din il-mistoqsija. Għal din irrisponda MELVIN THEUMA illi le alla volja m'hemmx skontu sexual chemistry bejn dawn iż-żewġ tirġiel jarah bħala father figure. Niftakru illi l-Ġojja issemma bħala il-middleman, allegat middleman bejn MELVIN u bejn dawk akkużati u Lawrence Kutajjar fejn anka kien hemm allegazzjonijiet li ingħaddew il-flejjes sabiex MELVIN THEUMA jingħata il-presidential pardon. Però I must admit, il-line of questioning naħseb ħasdet ħafna nies għax we did not see that coming at all.
No one did at all, and no one expected it coming from nowhere.
Nagħlqu dak il-kapitlu hemmhekk u ngħaddu għal storja illi wkoll tinvolvi s-sesswalità, sfortunatament lat ikra ħafna tiegħu l-abbuż sesswali qed nirreferi għall-istorja fejn il-bieraħ skoprejna illi kien hemm it-tielet patri mill-parroċċa tax-Xara Għawdex illi kien allegatament ta' tnejn l-oħra, għal dan m'aħniex ħankunu nafu, jabbuża sesswalment mill-abbati u ma nafux jekk kienx hemm iktar f'din il-parroċċa. Però għaliex m'aħniex ħansiru nafu jekk dawn l-akkużi humiex minnhom għaliex daħlet il-preskrizzjoni fin-nofs u ġifieri għal dawn wisq żmien biex il-pulizija tkun tista' legalment tinvestiga tella l-qorti dan il-patri. Jidher li dan il-patri għadda mill-investigazzjoni tal-Kurja Lokali u anka tal-Vatikan, it-tnejn donnom qablu li kien hemm dawn l-akkużi kienu veri tant illi twaqqaf milli jaġixxi jaħdem ta' patri, però sfortunatament maħniex ser naraw ġustizzja fil-konfront ta' dan l-abbati il għaliex ma jistax jitressa l-qorti. Hija xi ħaġa konvenjenti immens illi tidħol il-preskrizzjoni fin-nofs ma nafux jekk da mhux l-awtoritajiet reliġjużi ma jirrapportaw il-polizija jekk ma nafux damx ħafna dan it-tifel sar-raġel ma jirrapport dan il-każ biex wassal jgħaddew daqshekk snin 16 sena. Però naħseb li każ bħal da iġiel il-leġislaturi forsi inniggżhom ftit biex nibdew niddiskutu jekk għandix titneħħa l-preskrizzjoni kompletament minn fuq abbużi sesswali fuq il-minorenni. Għaliex wieħed jaf kemm diffiċli li dawn meta jikbru jarġgħu jgħaddu minn dik it-trauma u jarġa' jgħaddu mill-istorja billi jirrapportawha.
No, I totally agree, Paul. I know we've seen time barring, see a priest get away with, horrific sexual abuse, it's so wrong, I mean, the issue of time barring, it's not the first time it's cropped up. Essentially, what it means is, let's say, if you're 11 years old, you only have up until about 25, 26 to report your abuser to police. Can you imagine how hard that is, for an abuse victim to actually come forward, the trauma that's associated with it? And even, a University of Malta study found that 80% of sexual assault cases go unreported. Now we can see why. You can pluck up the courage to finally go forward, and then the police tell you, oh, that happened too long ago, we're not going to charge this guy. The government has already removed time barring on cases of corruption. It's time, the Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Home Affairs get together and remove time barring on cases of sexual abuse, all sexual abuse, not just minors. On to our next story. It's a Lovin Malta exclusive today. The PN's former head of media, Pier Portelli, colluded with YORGEN FENECH to publish certain stories about internal party rivals. Really, really shocking stuff. At the time, Pier Portelli was the party's head of media and Adrian Delia's right-hand man, while FENECH was already outed as the owner of 17 Black. This is the Dubai-based company linked to widespread corruption in Malta. The messages were taking place during 2019. One of the first messages was in January 2019, sources told us, where essentially Portelli reached out to FENECH to leak a story concerning Chris Side and other internal party rivals. It was sort of meant to get this idea that Adrian Delia was suffering, a massive coup from people who wanted him out. There were also messages from Pier Portelli to leak some footage of Nikki Vela de Fremont, Adrian Delia's wife, to Labour Party trolls. At the time, Delia and Vela de Fremont were going through quite a messy separation, so really, quite shocking stuff that there was this level of collusion. It even goes a step further, where you get it from the other end, right, where YORGEN FENECH once asked Pier Portelli if he would send questions to James Piscopo. James Piscopo was the head of the Lands Authority and at a point Transport Malta, who had his own issues with Creech Kembri. I think there was even a story by the Times of Malta where they sort of revealed that police were looking into James Piscopo for, 600,000 euros in an offshore account, and that story apparently was fed by Creech Kembri through YORGEN FENECH as well. I wonder what you think about, this messy story.
Ma ftit l-ister li ħalluni black lim, imma jina u naqra u nisimak ta' tirendi konta dil-istorja, niprofa naħseb l-adġettivi li nuża biex niddiskrivi dil-istorja u għadni black lim. Forsi minna tisegwina fuq Facebook u koll jista fil-comment section jiddiskrivi x'jaħseb dwar dil-istorja. Però Pier Portelli għadu membru attiv fl-ola organu tal-Partit Nazzjonalista, ġifieri wieħed issa jara il-passi li se jittieħdu fil-konfront tiegħu issa li hemm din l-evidenza tal-collusion tiegħu fi żmien meta kienet jokkupa waħda mill-ola karigi fil-Partit Nazzjonalista. Nistennew naraw ma the plot thickens, imma m'hemmx li nifqu nibqgħu nisibu aktar affarijiet. L-aħħar storja tal-lum nagħlqu fuq nota kompletament differenti u aħbar li timlina b'ċertu sens ta' gburija. Sajid mis-Siggiewwi Mark Xikluna irnexxielu jerbaħ id-Dramatic Special Jury Award fis-Sundance Film Festival għar-rwol li huwa interpreta fil-film Luzzu. Se tajb li ngħidu li dan il-film huwa kompletament bil-Malti, imtella direzzjoni tal-Maltin, huwa prodott Malti. U minkejja illi qiegħed f'lingwa illi aħna biss nifhmuh, għax mhux bħal Franċiż, Spanjol, Ġermaniż jifhmu ħafna nies li ma jgħixux dak il-pajjiż, bil-lingwa tagħna u bl-interpretazzjoni tiegħu irnexxielu jerbaħ dal-unur li żgur li ħafna atturi Maltin jixtiequ jilħu dak il-livell, ġifieri straordinarju, verament proset il-dan is-sajjiet fuq kollox, għazin huwa attur professjonali.
No, that's it. It fills you with real pride, you know, to see such a Maltese feature make a mark on the international stage, you know, at the Sundance Film Festival, you know, one of the most prestigious film festivals out there. You know, as you said, you know, even the main actor, you know, is a fisherman, you know, it's really, truly a Maltese production. And more than pride, I think it should give a little bit of a hope and a little bit of a message out there for aspiring artists, filmmakers, writers, creatives, you name it. If your story is good enough, if you put heart in it, you know, if the right people are there, you'll get the attention for it, you know, so keep it up. I can't wait to watch it, Lutzu, I can't wait.
Trailer fuq l-istorja ta' Lovin Malta u vera mejta biex nara, għax tajjeb u ro, fis-sensija xi ħaġa xjeni li vera naraw mill-ftit li rajna fit-trailer, ġifieri vera proċess. Għal dawk li tisegwuna huwa naħseb messaġġ ukoll li għal min forsi dawk it-tfal li jħobbu jirrextaw imma li ma jistgħux għal raġunijiet finanzjarji jmorru dal ħafna classes u shows u teatri, etc. If you have raw talent, you will make it. Ġifieri vera proset u vera nħu pjaċiri nagħlqu l-programm fuq nota pożittiva. Grazzi tal-li segwejtuna fisem Julian. Have a day full of lovin'.
Make sure you're not the smartest person in the room.
Try to be a very good number 2. That is the worst advice I ever received in my life.
If possible, make sure you're the stupidest person in the room. Not, you're in the wrong room.
I don't really believe in difficult decisions.
You always have that gut feeling in everything you do. From that I decided I have to be the number 1 in my own journey. No one else is number 1.
A decision is a decision.
A lot of people place too much emphasis on luck.
Say more yeses, take more risks.
I let my gut be my compass, so to speak.
To invest more in relationships.
I think the biggest myth of business is that things are easy.
You have to fight back, you have to be aggressive in the same way.
Nothing is the end of the world except the end of the world.
You're all strengthened for it for your next channel.
Dominant in the same way and level yourself to the same attitude.
Everybody else, I wanted to be some big sports hero, but that didn't happen, unfortunately.
You have to own up to that decision and you just execute.
Luck will always feature in everything in life.
Most likely, more is not the answer.
I wanted to become Malta's biggest businessman.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, which is bullshit, basically.
Apparti li segwi l-ħolm tiegħek, però krux ta' kollox hija li temmen fik innifsek.